Hi everybody, welcome back to class. It's Mark and we are in week 3, which means we are starting module 2 of our time together. Remember, we do one module every 2 weeks. So I think everyone did well with the first module. As I've mentioned before, this is not the hardest class in the world, provided you stay on schedule. So let's go take a look at module 2 and see what we have to do for the next 2 weeks. At this point, everyone has turned in the Capstone portfolio initial draft of how you plan to tackle this project. And I just want to say 2 things about that. There might be a little bit of confusion, on what we are building towards. And so I'll explain it simply that this is going to be a summation of the work that you have done, what some of the work that you think you've done the best throughout your time here at Ivy Tech, and give you a chance to show it off. As you've seen by the Capstone portfolio instructions, you are asked to select previous work that you have written over a variety of topics that will showcase what you have learned about, say, environmental or social responsibility. Now, there is an alternative if you don't have a particular essay on that, and those are the writing projects. And we'll go into a little bit more detail about that, but if you have decided that you want to write, or excuse me, if you want to include something about environmental responsibility, but you don't have a paper on that topic, or you don't have a paper that you like on that topic, you can use one of the writing prompts, which will guide you through the process of assembling that very thing. The second thing I want to address on the Capstone portfolio is saving data. The worst possible outcome is that you get to the end of the class and an essay that you wrote 2 years ago that you intend to use simply isn't there. Maybe the file is corrupted, your PC that you were storing it on crashed, it's no longer accessible to you. Now is the time early in the semester to start pulling in the things that you want to use and save them in multiple places. You could save them to a flash drive, you could save them to Google Docs, you could email a copy to yourself. Maybe you want to do all 3, but if you've got a piece of work that you did a couple years ago that you're proud of and that you want to use for this Capstone portfolio, never store it in just one place. Store it in a variety of places. Probably the best of all of these is to simply email a copy to yourself, then put it in a file folder. Those never get lost. True, things usually don't get lost on Google Docs, and true, flash drives usually don't fail, but email is probably the safest bet. So it doesn't hurt to be redundant and save a copy of something you really like that you want to use in more than one place. That's my advice to you. So let's take a look at Module 2. We have information on literacy and literacy readings. And here you will see the Capstone portfolio instructions with a rubric if you want to include an essay on information literacy. You don't have to. You get to pick and choose what you want to use, but go ahead and scope through this to see if it is something that is going to be of value to you. We also have a discussion board, and kudos to the people that have already gotten in this and have done their initial post. I think there's even 1 or 2 folks that have already completed the discussion board. That's fantastic. I never mind seeing people work ahead. But for this module, your initial post is going to be due on February 5th, and then your final post will be due on February 9th. Again, remember, you have to write your initial post and reply to at least 2 other students, and it has to be a quality reply. You simply can't say, I agree and you made a good point. Further the discussion, talk about something that they said that you liked or appealed to you or that stimulates conversation. Of course, you can reply to more than 2 people if you'd like, but 2 is the minimum. And last thing, information on identifying a paper that discusses information literacy. I'm not going to read through this. You all can read. I'll let you do that on your own time. But I do want to point out which I previously cited, Capstone Portfolio does not require you to include something on information literacy. You can, you don't have to. So if you don't have something on point with this, or something that maybe you did just wasn't your best work at the time for whatever reason, you don't have to include it. But it wants you at least to begin the process of searching for things about the topics as they come up. So this time we're talking about information literacy. Next time we'll be talking about something else. I tried to answer all the questions that came up in the Capstone Portfolio submissions as they were asked. I think I addressed all of the questions, but you know what to do. If I didn't address your question, well, send me a text. That number is 812-498-4200. That's my personal cell phone. I have it with me all the time. If you text me, I'll try and get back with you as quick as I can. There might be some times where I can't answer it immediately, but I'll get to it as quick as I can. That's all I've got for this week. Remember, we are working on Module 2 the week of January 27th and the week of February 3rd. Got a question? Give me a text anytime. Thanks, folks, and I will see you around. Bye-bye.